Okay, hello everyone. This is Abdullah Shamir. First of all, I'm so sorry. I just forgot my tripod, so I'm not able to record it with the tripod. I'm just managing something here. So today we are going to talk about the social identities. Okay, the first thing which we are going to understand is all about social identities. Okay, the social identities means this term social stands for society and identities stands for identification. If we talk about social identities, initially we need to understand the key areas of the social identities. Okay, the first one is all about class. Class is the biggest factor to identify any individual, identify the status of any individual, identify the role or culture of any individual within the society. Okay. So, if we talk about class, we need to understand the basic social identities around the class. Like we have upper class, we have middle class, we have working class. Okay, got it? So we need to understand this thing. Afterwards, the second factor behind social identity is gender. Stereotypically, we need to understand the gender in binary means. Binary means stands for what? Binary means stands for male and female. First, we need to understand the social identities on the basis of stereotypical manner, and afterwards we will try to break all the stereotypes in terms of class, gender, ethnicity, age. Am I right? So another factor behind social identity is ethnicity. Ethnicity refers to minority and majority stereotypically. What I am saying, I'm again saying one thing, stereotypically. Am I right? Afterwards, we have another factor or another element of social identity which is all about age. Actually, we divide the age groups on the name of age cohorts. Cohorts stands for different age groups. Am I right? So the thing is this: number one is childhood. Number two is young. Number three is adulthood. Number four is elderly. Got it? So this is all about the basic elements of social identities. Okay. First, we are going to understand the identification of an individual within the society, and we used to identify an individual on the basis of these four basic elements. I hope the things are fine till now. Okay? Any confusion?
Social identities what? Social or identification or change in color?
Social identification, nothing is changed. There is a class out there. Class.
Class.
Class, upper, middle and low, working class. Oh my god. Working class. Any confusion till here? This is first we need to understand this. Now, yes.
Define the word stereotypical.
Stereotypical stands for the assumptions within the society, the things which are pre-assumed, or the individuals who are having prejudice about particular thing, having the pre-assumed ideas about particular the upper class will do this thing, the male will do that particular thing. This is all about prejudice, or you can say the pre-assumed ideas about the society. That the society is going to assume this thing, that this individual will perform in this way and this individual will perform the things in this particular way.
It can be applied for society or for an individual as well.
It could be it is enforced by the society. It is enforced by the society. Normally, the stereotypes are enforced by the society as a structural force. Got it? So, any confusion? Okay. Now, I am moving forward. We need to connect the social identities with their particular roles. Am I right? With their particular roles. and again, I'm repeating this thing, that these are the stereotypical roles, the pre-assumed roles of a society. That the upper class will only do the business, or they are having the landed aristocracy. Aristocracy stands for they are landlords. Am I right? If we talk about the middle class, it is assumed that there are middle class are usually professionals, managers. Actually, they are educated individuals. Okay. The working class is based on skilled and unskilled workers. I hope the things are fine till now. These are the stereotypical roles attached with particular social identities. Got it? Afterwards, if we talk about male, male is attached with instrumental role, and the female is attached with expressive role. Instrumental role refers to the economic role, or you can say unemotional role, and the expressive role is connected with emotional or domestic role. If we talk about the stereotypes, the male is segmentized and female is segmentized into particular role. Am I right? So if we move forward, the minorities having some minor roles within the society stereotypically, but now we can see a lot of professionals around the globe. Am I right? They are professionals, they belong from minority, because the things are changing over the period of time. But these things are normally based on the stereotypes. Am I right? This is all about the major role. The majority used to follow the major role. Okay. So if we talk about childhood, they are having dependent role stereotypically. Stereotypically, again, a young and adult is having independent role. They are independent in society. Elderly is having again dependent role. Okay, so I hope the things are fine till now. Okay, so if we move forward, these roles are attached with particular culture. If you are fulfilling any particular role, then it means it may result into you are following some particular culture. Okay, like if you talk about the businessman having an aristocracy, it may result into elite culture. It's more about popular culture. Like if you talk about the elite culture, it may result into what? The elite culture may have the paintings, the classical music, dance, theaters. And if you talk about the popular culture, they are more inclined towards cinemas and concerts. They both are having different interests. Okay. And if you talk about the working class, they used to follow the mass culture. Am I right? The males are usually following the masculine culture within the society, and the females are usually having feminine culture within the society. Okay? So if we talk about the culture of minority, they are usually having ethnic subculture. Ethnic subculture refers to what? First we need to understand the term ethnicity. Ethnicity refers to the idea of social belonging. Am I right? This is more about the social belonging, the society you belong. If you talk about minority, this is all about ethnic subculture. What it means that you are having a variation in mainstream culture on the basis of your social belonging. You are having a variation. Let's suppose variation in mainstream culture means variation in values, variation in norms. Okay, so if you are having this thing, it means you are having ethnic subculture. Any confusion till here? Okay, so and the majority is having mainstream culture of the society. Any confusion till here? Okay, now move. if we talk about children and young people, they are having youth subculture. If we talk about adults, they are having mainstream culture of society, and elderly is having, they're also having elderly subculture. So they have some of their own consumption patterns, their own preferences. Okay, so subculture means they are going to they want some variation in the mainstream culture. Okay, so like if you talk about the adult consumption pattern or elderly consumption pattern, they are having different consumption rules. They used to consume the things in a different way. Okay, so if we talk about further on, the culture may link with the status within the society. What status you have? Like elite subculture is having high status, higher than lower class. Middle class is having the status higher than lower class. The working class subculture is having lower status. Got it? So if we move forward, stereotypically, the males are having more superiority within the society. It means the masculine culture is having higher status, while the feminine culture is having low status. Got it? And if we talk about minor role, ethnic subculture, it's more about the low status. It's having high status. Got it? Again, children are having low status in stereotypical societies because they are dependent and they can't contribute at the workplace, in the industries particularly. Afterwards, if we talk about young individuals and adults individual, they both are having high status because they both are having the ability to work at the workplace. And afterwards, elderlies are there. They also are not able to work at the workplace, so they are also having low status. Okay, any confusion till here? I hope the things are clear till now. Okay, now I'm moving forward. Yes, please.
Basically, you're giving us designated status on your ability to work in society.
Exactly. In particularly in modern societies, because the modern societies were based on industries. Got it? Now, I will fill that space also, but I'm going to write some very important thing here. Modern societies were based on stereotypes, while the post-modern societies are based on individual narrative. Am I right? Individual narrative. It means individual will develop his own identity. Am I right? Okay. Individual may have choice to develop his own identity on the basis of his own experiences. While in the previous societies, individuals were enforced to follow the particular set of truth. Am I right? Again, in post-modern societies, class identities are blurring. Class identities are blurring. Gender identities are changing, and ethnic identities are hybridized. Am I right? This is your starting paragraph. Am I right? You can start your answer with this paragraph. In this paragraph, we start with the whole scenario in this game. Am I right? Now I am coming towards this part again. I need to talk about some very important thing here. Okay, number one, I need to talk about, first I need to talk about blurring of class identities. If we talk about the modern stereotypical societies, the class identities are so much visible, am I right? Due to the consumption pattern, due to multiple sort of things, due to the culture particularly. But if we talk about the postmodern societies have an advantage of blurring of class identities. Why is this so? Due to mixed consumption pattern. If we talk about the upper class of the society, they have some of the consumption pattern compatible with the working class. Like if we talk about McDonald's in the developed countries like USA and UK, every individual is able to consume that brand. Upper class used to consume that particular brand due to their preferences, and the working class used to consume that brand just because of their affordability. Am I right? Due to that particular thing. And why is this so? Because the brands, the major brands are having the advantage of economies of scale. They used to produce the goods in a larger scale. Economies of scale stands for what? If you are going to increase the production level, that may result into the decrease in average cost. Once there is a decrease in average cost, you can give this benefit to your customers. At overall level, you are going to give this benefit to the customer, which may result in the affordability, and you are able to cater the maximum audiences. Am I right? You are able to cater maximum audience, and you can future tell which may result into what? The blurring of class identities. Previously, the consumption pattern of the upper, middle, and lower class is so much visible, and you can see they all are having different brands. But if we talk about in post-modern societies, like every individual is having the same clothing pattern. Due to globalized identities, we will discuss it further down. Okay, so mixed consumption pattern, impact of welfare state policies. So welfare state is going to support the families into healthcare, into education system. Everyone is having a similar education system. Am I right? So which may result into what? The increase in inequality. So, okay. Subsidies to working class. Subsidies to working class. For what purpose? Subsidies to working class, try to understand this thing. The state is going to subsidize the goods for the working class, and they are going to impose a tax for the ruling class. Am I right? For the upper class. which may result into what? There's a decline in inequality. Inequality. And another one is increase in middle class. The middle class is increasing due to a good literacy rate. All around the world we are having the good literacy rate, which may result into what? The individuals are becoming very good professionals. Okay, so this may definitely help the people around the world. So, give me a second. Okay, let's change things. Now we are talking about gender. Now we need to understand this thing. There must be changing gender identities. What it means? It means male identities are changing. Number one. Are changing. Okay. Another thing is changing female identities, and another very major reason is all about introduction of new form of gender identities, like what LGBTQ. LGBTQ plus. It means there are in post-modern societies, gender identities are no more restricted into binary means. The gender identities are we can say it's more diversified. That individuals have a choice to do whatever they want to do. Am I right? Yes, boss.
It is diversified to like use the economy because they are more accepting.
Yeah, economy also in the political scenarios also, like in so many countries like UK, US, and US, UK, India also. In some states of India, the lesbians and gays have complete rights to get married in the form of civil partnership and things like that. Okay, so
acceptedness, so like they
you can say, give this argument in evaluation that in conservative societies like Pakistan, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Iran, this is not acceptable. But if you talk about the developed countries, a diversified society where there is more harmony about the gender, so these identities are accepted. Okay, so if we move forward in terms of male identities, actually the male identities are also changing in so diverse way. Like initially, I can say one thing, I'm going to include one thing here. The masculine culture is linked with hegemonic masculinity, where male is following an hegemonic role, like male is a controller of the family and the female were emphasized to follow the male. Am I right? And the feminine culture is linked with emphasized feminine. Okay, so if we talk about the changing male identities, initially in modern societies, male identities were based on hegemony and the control and superiority. But while if we talk about the post-modern societies, the male identities are having some subordinate masculinity, where we can say this thing that if the individual is having some deficiency, or you can say individual is facing some issues in terms of physical disability, the female is supporting the family. That is all about subordinate masculinity. Okay, there are some male identities in terms of marginalized masculinity, in terms of what when some male is facing some financial crisis and the individual is pushed to the margins within the society, that the female is supporting the family. That is all about marginalized masculinity. Okay, there are some different sort of masculinities also, like what? Subversive masculinity, where an individual is following a new man concept. New man stands for what? a male who is following the economic role and domestic role also. So initially in the pre-modern societies or modern societies, the male were only linked with the economic role. But while we talk about the post-modern societies, the male role is more diversified in terms of the home also. Am I right? So it is fine for the male to work inside the home also. Okay. So on the other hand, we have some retributive masculinities. Retributive masculinity stands for what? If a male is using his hegemonic status or the superior status in terms of violence, you can say the drugs and domestic violence, that is called retributive masculinities. Okay, so this is more about the diversified the male identities. Okay, yes?
Basically, it is being used in non-conformist way.
Yeah, exactly. This term is normally used in a non-conformist way. Okay. So if we talk about the changing female identities, the female identities are also changing over the period of time. Like if we talk about the female identities, we can see the movement of feminism around the globe, like which may result in the girl power concept. The women power women are more protesting against the violence against the woman and domestic violence and the rape in marriage and the darker side of the marriage and the woman rights. This is more about the girl power. Usually the girl power concept is linked with the teenagers who need some autonomy within the society. Okay, if you move forward, there are some identities in terms of modernized feminities. Modernized feminities stands for what? Modernized feminities are linked with the middle-aged woman. Middle-aged woman. Listen to me. Modernized feminities are usually linked with a middle-aged woman who is working in corporate sectors, who is competing men through education and abilities. Am I right? So this is all about the modernized feminities. Afterwards, we have some aging feminities also, where an elderly woman prefer to be in shape and to prefer to be active within the society. That is all about aging feminities. Okay, so there are several change in the female identities also. It's more diversified. The identities are not fixed at all in the previous manner. But the thing is this: the things are continuously changing, and it's more about the individual preferences. It's more about the individual choices within the society. Okay, so if we talk about further about the ethnicity, we can see one thing. This is more about the hybridization of ethnicities. Hybridization of ethnicities refers to the idea. It means what? The societies are facing the geographical mobility. The people are moving from place to place due to the easy visa policies and easy to travel. In the modern world, or you can say if you talk about pre-modern world, it is very difficult to travel from one country to another country. But in the post-modern societies, you can travel all around the globe within hours. So I can say one thing, which may result into it may result into the hybridization of ethnicity. You are having your own culture, and you are going to travel to another country, and you are adopting some other culture also. So which may result in the hybridized ethnicities. Okay, and another way of hybridization is due to the globalization and the impact of the global culture. Why is this so? That the individuals all around the globe, if you talk about the Asian individuals, the African individuals, or the American individuals, they all are consuming the global brands like Levi's, jeans. They all are consuming the products like the KFC, McDonald's, Pizza Hut. So they all are these global brands may also change the consumption pattern due to the global culture. So actually, the hybridization is having two different types. Like number one is all about conventional hybridization, while two different cultures are hybridized. Like if I'm going to share one basic example, this is all about Brazian. Brazians are the individuals who are living in Britain, but they are Asians actually, Indians or Pakistanis. Okay, so their famous dish is chicken tikka masala. Okay, chicken tikka masala used to consume by the Britain individuals also and the Pakistani and Indian individuals also. So Brasians are the people who are having the conventional hybridization in terms of ethnicities. Okay, so if you move forward, another type of hybridization is all about contemporary hybridization. This is all about the impact of global culture. Impact of global culture stands for what? If you talk about MTV, MTV is doing what? MTV used to produce music with local lyrics and Western music, or the global music, pop, rock, jazz. Okay, so what they are doing, the MTV is doing the contemporary hybridization. They used to hybridize the content in this way. Am I right? So I hope the things are clear till now. There is no confusion. Perfect. So this is more about the hybridization of ethnicities and age identities are also changing. Age identities are also changing due to what? The first thing is all about the impact of global culture. If you talk about the young and childhood identities, they are usually based on contemporary hybridization. Am I right? The children all around the globe are having the similar form of living. Okay, they all love the nuggets. Okay, so they all love to play PlayStation. So this is more about the impact of global culture. You can give the example of PlayStation. Consumption. Impact of films and media. They all have similar. If you talk about children and young individuals, they all have a similar role model. They all love Batman, Superman. Got it? So this is more about it. If we talk about the changing elderly identities, elderly identities are consistently changing within the societies. Like what? They have retirement plans. The new roles of elderly is there because in global societies, in the post-modern society, you have multiple options to do. You have multiple positions within the society which you can accommodate your elderly individuals. In the previous societies, you don't have any position to accommodate them. Am I right? But now you have multiple positions in many countries. But if you talk about New York and multiple state jobs in the New York, there is no retirement age. If you want to work till 70, you can work till 70. Just maintain yourself and work till 70. Okay, so this is more about the changing structures. So guys, if I'm just going to summarize the things in one way, this is all about the modern societies were based on stereotype, while the postmodern societies are based on individual narrative or individual preferences. Individual may have a choice to develop his own identity on the basis of his own experiences. Okay, in postmodern societies, class identities are blurring, gender identities are changing, while ethnic identities are hybridized. So this is the core idea of our whole topic. So I'm just going to I'm so sorry, I just forget my tripod today due to I need to shoot this video not in good quality. I'm so sorry. Just try to copy this lecture in horizontal manner, okay?